Hey there, friends. Welcome back to 3 Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in just the next few minutes, we're going to take time to slow things down, open a chapter of the New Testament, and actually think about what's being said and what it might mean for us. Today, we're in John chapter 4, and this one is all about thirst, but not the kind of thirst you fix with a glass of water. Okay, so Jesus is traveling, and he stops at a well in Samaria. There's a lot packed into this account, so we're going to kind of skip the rock across the pond and gather the higher important parts that we're going to focus on this morning. So the fact that he was in Samaria alone was a problem, right? This was a surprising issue in and of itself. Jews typically didn't go through Samaria, so there was this tension, cultural, religious, historical, but Jesus goes right smack into the middle of the conflict. He doesn't dance around struggle. And then he does something even more unexpected. He starts a conversation with a woman at a well in the middle of the day, and that woman is a Samaritan woman. You see, in that time and in that culture, this thing doesn't happen. They have different backgrounds, they're different gender roles, and this was crossing all sorts of cultural and religious boundaries. But Jesus isn't interested in staying inside those lines. He asks her for a drink. Now she's confused. Why are you talking to me? But Jesus shifts the conversation quickly without ever answering why he's talking to her. He says, if you knew who I was, you'd be asking me for living water. Now she's confused and curious because everyone knows what it's like to be thirsty, to keep coming back to the same well over and over and over and over again. So Jesus leans in, and I would almost imagine that he lowers the tone of his voice, and he almost gently whispers, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. That's the tension in this chapter. We all have wells we go back to, things we look to for satisfaction, for identity, comfort, things like success, approval, control, and distraction. And they work for a moment. But then we're back again, still thirsty. Jesus is pointing to something deeper, a kind of life with God that doesn't run dry, not because life gets easier, but because the source is different. Then the conversation gets personal. Jesus brings up her past, multiple relationships, a complicated history, not to shame her, but to show her that he already knows, and he still engages, still offers living water. That's the important part, because a lot of us assume we have to clean things up before coming to God. But John 4 flips that on its head, and Jesus meets her right in the middle of her story. Not after it's fixed, but right there in the middle of it. So what does John 4 do for you and me? It asks a really honest question. What are you going to satisfy your thirst with? And is it actually working? Because Jesus offers something deeper than temporary relief. He offers a source that changes you from the inside out, and it doesn't run dry. You don't have to have it all together to come to him. You just have to be willing. Hey, thanks for taking these few minutes. Have a great day, friends. Be well.